Wisdom of Mahabharata. Some people say Mahabharata is a fight between brothers for power. Some people consider it as a struggle to understand the difference between right and wrong, or dharma and adharma. Others think of it as understanding the objects of human pursuit, or purusharth. It is hard to argue with these definitions as they all are correct. But to me, Mahabharata is a little more than that. To me, it is the understanding of life and thus self. One of the ways to understand the great epic is to divide it into three major parts. First, Pre-Gita, or in other words, living a life of adharma. This is where most of the characters took actions without thinking about the repercussions, where most of the worldly issues happen. This is the world where most of us belong, and thus the stories about Pre-Gita are really popular. Second, Gita, or in other words, teachings of dharma and developing the abilities to differentiate between correct and incorrect. It also talks about how to follow dharma and path towards liberation. This is one of the most used scriptures in Hinduism. Third, Post-Gita, or in other words, following the teachings of dharma, which ultimately leads to moksha or liberation. This is the part where the battle of Kurukshetra takes place, after which there is a lot of introspection which leads to pursuit of spirituality and understanding of self. This is also one of the least discussed part of Mahabharata, especially the part after the battle. It is not only just the teachings, but also the characters, which if you look closely are the reflections of people around us, which makes Mahabharata still relevant in modern times. For example, Bhima, a bully by nature who was blindly in love with Draupadi. He was also the man with brute force. Does he ring a bell of similarity? No. How about Salman Khan, the film star? And another example of this might be Bhishma, a regent who never betrayed the throne and never spoke against the king, no matter what the consequences were. Do you know someone like that? What about Manmohan Singh, ex-Indian Prime Minister? So why a retelling of the epic, which is probably the most narrated novel in the Indian history? I firmly believe it is the path of my self-discovery. It is my purusharth, my pursuit of dharma, righteousness, artha, prosperity, kama, pleasure, and hopefully moksha, liberation.